Good evening. Here is the world news from BGI TV Baba Bagede Imo TV. I am Morire Rabila Lawal. First are the major headlines for the world news. Governor Bagudu hails KB community for defending themselves against banditry. Uniben employee commits suicide over financial difficulties. Again, ex-militants give FG 21-day ultimatum to tackle Niger Delta crisis. Family begs for release of driver. Man kidnapped while conveying cops. Kogi community panics as gunmen attack Okei police station. Charles III takes oath, becomes king. On foreign and on sport, Nigerian clubs begin quest for continental glory. Second on sport, Zaka, it's time for Arsenal to win Europa League. Now the news in detail. Governor Atiku Bagudu of KB has hailed the bravery of Zugu residents in Meyama local government area of the state for routing some bandits who attacked the community. The governor who visited the community on Friday commended residents for standing up to the bandits and defending themselves. People of Zugu, I commend you for displaying the courage to defend yourselves, Mr. Bagudu said in a statement by his media aide Yahya Sarki on Saturday. He said that their courageous response to the attack by the bandits was worthy of commendation and emulation by others. Mr. Bagudu said even though some community members had sadly lost their lives, the fact that they routed the bandits and killed some of them was heartwarming. He urged them and other communities in the state to remain courageous and resilient in assuring peace and security in their area. The governor said those who lost their lives defending the community did not die in vain, but as martyrs. A member staff of the University of Benin, Prince Ketau, a member staff of the University of Benin, Prince Kata Oshodin, has committed suicide on Friday over his dire financial activities and actions. Oshodi, who had not been paid his salary for months due to the strike action embarked upon by university's union, was a data entry personnel at the university. It was gathered that the non-academic staff union, which the deceased belonged to, has called off its strike recently, but the members had yet to be paid their salaries. Oshodi's Facebook confirmed his job description at Uniben. A professor in the university, who would not want his name mentioned due to the emotional nature of the case, told Weekend Point on Saturday that it is disheartening that they have not been paid since the strike action began. He also wondered why those who called off the strike are still not being paid by the government. We have not been paid no dime since we went on strike. This is the 10th of September. The non-academic staff that has since resumed have not been paid anything. Boko Haram, no to Western education, he claims. To Niger Delta story. Ex-militants in the Niger Delta who called the scrapping of the Presidential Amnesty Program, PAP, Saturday, issued the federal government a fresh 21-day ultimatum to address the fundamental problems of the oil region. The ex-militant in a statement by Edward Kalamozo, aka General Foreman, said the federal government needs to abandon PAP and its place implement the recommendations of the government-appointed committee some years back, which recommended that the Niger Delta states should receive 25% of the country's oil revenue as against the present 13%. They warned in a statement, if they do not meet these demands from the end of September, we have no option but to do what we have in mind. The statement read, it is a sad development that the federal government has not yet shown a willingness to tackle the underlying issues in the region as regards granting of amnesty in the region. It is important that to solve the problem of the region, the federal government needs to abandon the Presidential Amnesty Program and its place, implement and recommendation by the government-appointed committee some years back, which stated the Niger Delta state should receive 25% of the country's oil revenue as against the present 13%. We want to know and see the infrastructural development of the Niger Delta region according to the original master plan of PAP, which is the peace agreement that the government and PAP representatives have not disclosed to the region. Family of the deceased have passionately appealed for the release of the driver of the heirs and relation abducted by armed bandits while conveying cops to Abia State on Thursday. On a sad note, family begs for release of driver man kidnapped while conveying cops to Abia The appeal is coming after the bandits suspected to be herdsmen were said to have established contact with the relatives of the victims. According to the source, the continued captivity of the duo has further traumatized the family. He pleaded that they should be freed, arguing that they do not deserve to pass through such mental torture. Kidnappers intercepted a earth-conveying corpse from Abraka in Delta State to Isiukuto in Abia State and dragged out the occupant, abandoning the coffin in the vehicle on the highway. The incident, which took place at the notorious Omonelchi Iwebe or Kigwe axis of the Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway, has sparked outrage in the area. A source who said the deceased was his uncle's wife said the abductors whisked away the victims, including the deceased woman's daughter, another relation, and the driver of the heirs into the bush. The source has said that the woman's daughter later escaped from the captors by providence, while the driver and other men are still being held captive. He said that the family had recovered the abandoned corpse and deposited it at the mortuary. From that story, we go to Kogi State. Fear has enveloped Oikia Onyeze community as gunmen launched a deadly attack on its police station in Okei local government area of Kogi State, leaving 3 police officers dead and others injured. The late night attack on Thursday was said to have occurred when the armed men in numbers stormed the police station amidst heavy shooting. This is coming barely 3 months after a similar attack on the police station. While confirming the incident, the Commissioner for Information and Communications in the state, Kingsley Fanwo, said the men of the underworld killed 1 person at the police station before the operation was foiled by security agents. Meanwhile, the state government has vowed to ensure that the fleeing criminals are apprehended and brought to justice. The Information Commissioner said that the state governor, Alhaji Yaya Bello, had directed the Office of the State Security Advisor to mobilize adequate security personnel and equipment to the affected area to ensure watertight security and restore confidence in the citizens. From that story, we'll go to foreign story. Charles III has sworn an oath as he was proclaimed king during an elaborate ceremony at St. James's Palace, London on Saturday. The death of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, was formally announced by the Accession Council. It was after then that Charles III was named as king. About 200 people gathered in the room, all then said God save the king before documents were signed. Flags that were lowered in mourning for the late queen will fly full mast for a short time, BBC reports. Recall that yesterday the king pledged to follow his darling mama's life of service in his first address to the nation. The queen, the UK's longest reigning monarch, died peacefully at Balmoral Castle on Thursday afternoon at the age of 96. Adieu to the queen. From there, we'll go to sports story. 4 Nigerian clubs, Rivers United, Plateau United, Remo Stars, and Kwara United will begin their quest to rule Africa this weekend. In the CAF Champions League, Plateau United will be the guest of Gabonese club Stade Manji at the Stade Franceville on Saturday today. The game will kick off 3:30 p.m. Nigerian time, which is on the way. On Sunday, Nigeria Professional Football League champions Rivers United will entertain Liberia's Watanga FC in the same competition. The encounter built for the Adokie Amasiamaka Stadium, Port Harcourt, will kick off at 4 p.m. on the way. No Nigerian club has won the CAF Champions League since Enyimba secured back-to-back titles in 2003 and 2004. In the CAF Confederation Cup, Kwara United will entertain Association Sportive Del Dunes of Niger Republic at their makeshift home ground Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Lagos. The game will commence at 4 p.m. which is on the way. Later on Sunday, debutant Remo Stars will do battle with Morocco side Far Rabat. The fixture, which will take place at the State Prince Mola Abdullahi, will kick off at 8 p.m. Nigerian time later today, or possibly on Sunday, as the information says. No Nigerian club has won the CAF Confederation Cup since inception. Moving on to the next sports story from England. Granit Xhaka believes Arsenal can win the UEFA Europa League this season. The Gunners started their campaign in this season competition with a 2-1 win at FC Zurich on Thursday. Arsenal made it to the final of the competition in 2019 but lost 4-1 against London rivals Chelsea. The Swiss midfielder believes Arsenal can live up their favourite tag and taste European success for the first time. Very disappointed, first of all, because when you get to the final, you want to win it. For sure, said Zaka when asked about the final in Baku 3 years ago. But you can only learn about this 3 years later. We're still here now in Europa League, and it's time to win it. That concludes the world news from BGI TV. Before we go, some major headlines. Governor Bagudu hails KB community for defending themselves against bandit attack. Uniben employee commits suicide over financial difficulties. Again, ex-militants give FG 21-day ultimatum to tackle Niger Delta issues. And on sports story, Nigerian clubs begins quest for continental glory this weekend. For more updates on YouTube, our handle is Baba Bagede Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell, select option all to enjoy all of our broadcasts on Facebook, Bagede Imo, with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page on Instagram, Bagede Imo _22, and for advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of events and function. The phone number streaming on your screen is the phone number to dial for advert placements only. I am Morire Rebila Lawal. Good evening.
Oh, na, na, na. If you want to know what's going on in city, or you want to listen to the latest news and gist, no stress, oh, just into BGI TV. BGI TV, you're one in a million.